Yes, sir.
Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, at least 7 members are okay. 5 members are not good, but 7 members is good. And that is not at all good because morning 12, 13 members are there. Okay. So not even we didn't complete 1 o'clock also. Okay, so guys, look at here. There is a few more things are about, but I think I already done that one. Is about file systems. Just for a review, like I will tell a small thing about a file system, then I will go to type of storages also. So actually I have to include this thing in the previous part, but I didn't done. Okay, so we'll see that file system part. Then we'll see the file system. Okay, file system. So look at here, guys. Whenever you got a new laptop or a desktop, okay, when you are having a new laptop or a desktop, if it does not contain any OS, okay, if it is not contain any OS, so what we will do, we install a OS into hard disk, right? So we have a hard disk or a SSD, whatever it is. So it is connected, and now we are going to install a OS. Okay, so when we are installing a OS, we have to create a partition. Earlier days, it is a compulsory to create a partition, then install a OS part. Now it is not required, so we can do shrinking and all. I showed that one in a practically. Okay, so we create a partitions to install a OS. Then other partitions, we put a data in other partitions, like we put a data or applications, some file. Data means file kind of stuff, right? But to store a data in the partition or a complete hard disk or a pen drive, okay, either you are using a pen drive, just a pen drive, or a SD cards, or direct external hard disk. External hard disk is a single disk, no partitions. We don't make a partitions generally in external hard disk, USB connected, or a hard disk with partitions or without partition. To store a data or anything in the particular storage device, it has to follow a file system. It has to follow a file system. What is the file system? File system will define how to store the data. File system will define how to store the data. What it is? File system defines how to store. The better word is allocate data. Better word is allocate, because fact represents the fact. You can see this is a fact. File allocation table means it will tell how to arrange, defines how to store or arrange or allocate data in the storage drive. Okay, in the storage drive. Like I have a files. Sorry, forget about it. So I have a chairs, big hall. I have a chairs are there. People has to sit, right? So chairs. I can put all the rows wise. Like if you go to a movie theater, there's a lot of chairs are there. So, but it is separated. Corner chairs, middle, okay, and each row gap, and a side. So people can enter any of the door, or I can able leave any of the door, but they can easily go outside. If you don't maintain a gap between one row to another row, if you don't split the rows in sides, what will happen? So it is very difficult to go outside, right? So this is the movie theater rows like this, little curve, right? And in middle, there is a, not middle, in a side, there is a splitter is there, splits like this, and there is a gap between each rows. So what is the advantage of it? Okay, if I want to go out from here, so either I will go like this, I will go like this. If I want to go from here to here, I can go like this. Here to here, I can go like this. Okay, so if in case the rows are like this, so I given an entry like this, like people has to go like this. Okay, this is my seat, so I have to cross these many people. Okay, I am sitting here, I want to go outside, I have to cross these many people. Okay, sometimes links are there. Okay, so like this is what I'm trying to say is not about a movie theater seats. I'm talking about arrangement of data in the disk drive. Okay, so that is what file system it is. Okay, so format is a word is used. It is used to define file system. What is a format? Format is define the file system. Define or redefine the file system. Define or redefine, because of I have a pen drive, I've reformatted, I formatted it. I have a pen drive, I connect it and format. Already file system is there. Again, I'm defining a file system. Either which file system I will choose it. In a Windows, generally we use FAT and NTFS, guys. FAT support up to 32 GB because there is a two FATs are there. One is FAT 16, another one is FAT 32. FAT 32 support 32 GB maximum partition size. Okay. FAT 16 support 4 GB partition size. Okay, so this is about a FAT. Of course, there is a lot of things about a FAT is there. Already, I think I explained this one. Another one is NTFS. NTFS, new technology system. It support up to 2 terabyte and more than 2 terabyte also. More than 2 terabyte. So more than 2 terabyte and up to this. It support more than 2 terabyte and up to almost like a 18 EB in a new version, 18 EB. NTFS features are there. So that is security, encryption, compression, quota, indexing. What is security? So yellow or a deny users to user or a group access your files or folders. Okay, so you can allow or deny users or groups to access files and folders for read and write purpose. Read and write purpose. It means it's a ACL. It is also called as ACL, access control list kind of stuff. What it is, it allow a user to access the file, denies access the file. It's an EFS type, means it is an encrypted file system. Encrypt data using encryption feature, we can able to encrypt the data. Okay, so other users cannot access data. Cannot access means read and write data. Access means read and write. So in earlier statement I put it separately. I put here same, access means read and write. So other users cannot access the data, encrypted data, without key or a certificate. Which certificate? So encrypted key is there. Okay, so you can use the key to decrypt the data. Okay, you can use the key to decrypt the data. Compression. Compress the data to save disk space. So your disk is almost full. You still want to put some more data. Now we can't put it because it's already a lot of data is occupied. So what you do? You will compress the data. So then more little space is available. So you can put more data in it. Okay, disk quota. What is a disk quota? We are not let a user to use the entire disk space. Example, I have a 200 GB E drive is there. Okay, I have 200 GB E drive is there. So I gave only 20 GB E drive space to user 2. I'm a user 1 administrator. So what it is an example, I have 200 GB, whole disk space is there. Okay, I will put it like this. This is whole disk space. It's a, sorry, this is a partition. For example, this is the E drive. It's a 200 GB drive generally, but user to log in with this account, user to log in and want to store the data. How much data it can able to store? Only 20 GB. He can store by his name, so only 20 GB only. Okay, he cannot use entire disk. 180 GB remaining is available, but he can store up to 20 GB only. So this is called a disk quota. Disk quotas or quotas are also very important concept in the infrastructure management. For example, you have a OneDrive, 15 GB maximum space. Not OneDrive, not OneDrive. OneDrive is a Microsoft. Of course, there is a limit. iCloud directory, some 5 GB is free space is available if you are an iPhone user, Mac user. Okay, you are using Google Drive. Google Drive is a 15 GB. Like indexing, it index the data So it is easy to search for particular file or a folder, file or a folder or application also. What is NTFS? New technology file system. So these are the main Windows based things. Here it is. One more column is there. Nowadays, yeah, FATs are using. Currently, these FATs don't have any security features, but the FAT file systems nowadays used for Pendrives. Of course, you can use NTFS also, but mainly SD cards, memory cards. But problem is there. What is the problem? FAT32 support up to 32 GB, but SD cards available more than 30 GB. NTFS mostly we use NTFS understand by mostly by Windows only, but SD cards we use for Android or other different type of systems we use, different type of mobile phones we are using, cameras we are using, right? So different type of voice interfaces we are using. So that universal language understanding is file system is FAT only, but SD cards now available more than 32 GB, like 64 GB, 128 GB, 256 GB, 1 terabyte also possible, 2 terabyte of SD cards also available. Now, what is the solution? EXFAT. It is an extended FAT system. So EXFAT file system support more than 32 GB. So highest limit currently unknown. Maximum I think it is a 2 terabyte currently. We'll see. Next, REFS, resilient file system. Resilient file system. So they use CRC. REFS uses CRC. What is CRC? Cyclic redundancy check. Cyclic redundancy check. So every time you have to search what is CRC. Cyclic redundancy check. It is a kind of algorithm. It's a kind of algorithm. So it protects your data from corruption, or it won't. It repairs your data. Okay, it works against the corruption kind of stuff. CRC, cyclic redundancy check. It is a kind of algorithm which it generates some code, some data, some number from your data only. From your data only, so it generates some data code or kind of stuff. It verifies your data is safe or corrupted. CRC verify the data is good or corrupted. Okay, so CRC can repair data if it is corrupted. not fully corrupted. Sometimes, when you are open, for example, if you have some rar files are there. So I will try to go through any WinRAR files or zip files. Best is a WinRAR files like this. Okay, so these are some WinRAR files. Okay, here it is. These are a rar and this is tar. Tar is for Linux, rar is for Windows. So I open some rar file. Can you see CRC? CRC. See, it is CRC value. You can see the CRC value. The CRC value is generated from this data only, this particular data, this CRC value. Why rar is more, why I'm showing this. If in case you are try to extract the data, it is a compressed and archived. It is compressed and archived. So you want to extract the data. So maybe because like I downloaded it while downloading or transferring from one place to another place, from C drive to E drive, maybe pen drive to some drive. So in which case, in what are the case, either for reading and writing, transferring the data, for through sending through mails, for upload and download time, data may corrupted. So what is this CRC value? CRC value is try to say it is the data is corrupted or not. So if in case any corruption is occur, we got a small repair option is there. So we got repair option because of this CRC only. Test archive files, extract specific folder, view, delete, print. Lark archive is also there. Where is this repair option? I even myself have seen so many days before. That's why I'm searching. Wizard repair archive. Yeah, this is repair archive. Okay, if in case I transfer like I copied into a pen drive, I give it to someone, and the guy open and it is saying it is unable to extract because the file is corrupted. So what you do? So open, go to tools, repair. Because of CRC, it's try to repair the file, and so then repaired file also generated separately. Repaired file will be generated. You have to extract the repair. Sometimes it will work. Sometimes problem will be there. Still problem will be there. So just I want to show you what is CRC. This is my hard disk. Here very important files I am putting. These files accessed by several users, not only me. So several users are accessing these files. Now problem is people are reading, writing, changing kind of stuff, transferring. So if lot of people are accessing same data, there is a possibility of data corruption. There is a possibility of data corruption. Once data is corrupted, so you cannot able to access. Once data is corrupted, you cannot able to access. Right? Data. So what do this there? What I will do? I'll take a partition or a hard disk. Instead of NTFS and FAT, I format with a REFS. If it is already NTFS, we can convert NTFS to REFS directly without losing data, and we can reconvert it back to NTFS. If you need any security features required, we can go back to NTFS. You don't require NTFS features. We want only to get protection, like a corruption related kind of stuff. You can use REFS. What is REFS? What are the data you are putting into this partition? Immediately, this REFS file system create a CRC value. Using CRC algorithm, it creates a CRC value. For every data you put it in a REFS, the CRC value will be there. So data is keep accessing by people. So if anything is occurs, so it will try to repair. So that's why it is called a resilient file system. Okay. This also support like a NTFS. No NTFS based features. Don't get any NTFS features, but you can roll back to NTFS possible without losing data. This is also Microsoft related. Next, in Linux and Unix, we use a file system called ext3, ext actually, ext2, ext3, ext4. Latest version is ext4, and also XFS, extended file system kind of stuff only. Okay, so this is the Linux. In a network, why network it is? When you use network shares, like you want to share the data through the network, so that data will be shared using a network protocols called NFS and CAFS, network file system, and CAFS, common internet file system. So here small points are there, guys. NFS, network file system. We are using similar like a Unix Linux based operating system. Unix like a operating system we use. CFS is a mixed mode. It is when we are using a cross platforms like a Linux, Unix to Windows based, okay, and the printer communications, printer shares, okay, Windows things, file shares, printer shares, okay, file sharing, printer sharing, kind of stuff we are using. So it is a when we are using cross platform, CFS is most useful. Of course, Linux, Unix, kind of stuff, Linux, Windows kind of stuff is also there. So you don't think like that, okay? Separately. It's also called as Samba, SMB file system, server message block, Samba based thing. Even you have a DVD also having a file system called UDF, universal disk format. CD is also having a format. So like any device to store the data into their storage space, they follow a file system. So different file systems like a FAT32, NTFS, REFS, EXFAT, ext3, ext4, ext2, XFS, NFS, CFS, like that. So universal disk formats, CDFS, so many different DOS kind of stuff, so many other file systems. So this is about mainly file system. So to store a data in the devices, we need a file system. File system will tell how to store the data or arrange the data in the things. Okay, so we are using a format is a word, okay, to define or to redefine file system. Format does not mean cleaning purpose. Format is main purpose is to define a file system. Okay, guys, this is about your basic file system. If you want a practical like how to create a partitions, okay, how to create a partitions, you want to see those kind of stuff, also you can check it. Yeah, see here it is, there is a picture. One side it is a NTFS file system, another drive is a FAT file system. Here it is a security, here is no security. Is a quota, no quota. Compress, no compress. Index, no index here. For basic things. Okay, that's the main difference. There's some information. So here it is in a partitions types also there, and GPT, MBR, what we will do. Yeah, no problem. Okay. This is about a file system, guys, and because it's already 110 or 112, so I will complete this MBR GPT partitions. I think already I told about shrinking and extending partitions. Okay, so I will show you what is MBR in GPT, number of partitions, what we will make it. I already started a virtual machines. I will try to show on a practical. Only 3 members are there. Everybody busy except me. Except us. So look at here, guys. So this is the hard disk. Okay. When I put a new hard disk, fresh hard disk, it is a fresh hard disk. The hard disk is not used earlier or cleaned. Cleaned. There is a command called cleaned. So hard disk disk management commands. Disk management related commands. Windows command is disk part. So open MD as administrator, run as a administrator. So like this, put a search, type CMD. In a search, type CMD and wait. This is the CMD. Right click on the CMD, run as a administrator. Yes. See, disk part. Then it is automatically changed to the disk part prompt. Okay. I want to list all my disk. List disk. I have a 2 hard disks are there. One is disk 0, another is a disk 1. Disk 0 is a 500, disk 1 is 1 terabyte. This is the GPT type. This is not GPT, it is a MBR type. Okay, so I can use the commands to modify my partitions and all things. If you don't know, just put a question mark. So these are the commands we can able to do it with the disk part to manage the disk. You can assign we can assign almost like a, what we can say. We can assign what we say E drive, G drive, drive letters, attributes, attach, auto mounts. You can break the mirror set, that kind of stuff. Okay, this is called a clean. You clean all configuration. You put a clean disk 1. What will happen? It remove all the partitions. It remove all the what are the configuration you have done. MBR GPT information, it will be cleaned. MBR GPT information, basic dynamic information, partition information, everything will be clean. That is called a clean. Compact, convert, create, delete. So there are so many are there. Okay, rescan, repair. So disk part is also one of the command. So other one is you can open a disk. So I'm talking in a Linux. It is fdisk is a command. You are not just doing a Linux, but fdisk is askmgmt.msc. You can open from run. In Linux, this is the command. Okay, the point is when you insert a new hard disk, fresh hard disk, it asks for a initialize the disk. Okay, initialize the disk as MBR or a GPT. When we insert new fresh hard disk or a SSD, whatever it is, new fresh hard disk. Okay, system asks for initialize this as MBR or GPT type. What is this MBR or GPT type? Is nothing but a partition styles. Nothing but a partition styles. MBR means master boot record. We already discussed what is master boot record, which contains information about your hard disk. Contains information about your hard disk. For example, I initialize as a MBR. So the record is stored in your hard disk 0 track. Okay, initial track only it will create. I created a partitions. Number of partitions I created. Information is available here. What is their partition numbers? Okay, number of partitions created. Partition number, partition 1, partition 2, partition 3, partition 4. Okay, number of partitions made it. Number of primary partitions here created. Number of extended partitions here created. Number of logical partitions here created. Where is your operating system drive? Where is your operating system drive? Okay, so like this, about your hard disk information stores in this MBR record. Similarly, MBR is a old one and GPT is a new one. It depends upon which type of version you are using. Okay, UID partition table. Okay, so for example, by default, I said a new system. You're in new system. New system. Now OS. Now we install OS. So initiate OS installer initiate as MBR or GPT based on BIOS or UEFI. So your system is BIOS. Your system is BIOS system support MBR UEFI, Unified Extensible Firmware Interface, which is nothing but a BIOS, better BIOS. I means next version of BIOS. You can say like that. GPT. So new system, no OS. Now we install OS. So when we are installing, so OS installer initiate this as MBR or GPT based on BIOS and all. So BIOS auto as BIOS. So MBR type, UEFI, basically GPT. Okay, that's a new system purpose. In the old system, what is happening? Your disk is MBR type. Then we can create 4 primary partitions only, or you can create 3 primary and 1 extended partitions, okay, in extended we can create number of logical partitions. So you want 5 partitions, you cannot create. How to create? We'll see. Okay. This is my hard disk. So I initialize as MBR. Okay. Now I created a partition, and I created a partition, and I created a partition, and I created a partition. So it's a primary partition. So for example, it is 500 GB. First one is 100 GB primary partition created. C drive completed. D drive, I put a 50 GB only. E drive, again another 50 GB primary partition. And F drive, I put a 100 GB, for example. Primary, 4 primaries completed. So I use almost like a 300 GB used, right? So this is 200 GB left over, no use. You cannot create, you can't store any data. You can't create, you can't store any data. So what you have to do, it is always better merge both the things. Make it as a 300 or rearrange it again. Put it 100, sorry, okay, 100, 100, maybe 200 or 100 or 150, 150, so 300. Now put a 200 here. So my disk is also same thing, like my second hard disk, only 3 partitions, 1 terabyte. I split it to only 3, wantedly 3. So I don't want to put more because I need more space than more drives. One is like a more than 500, 200, 200, 200, 200 means 400 completed. 600, right? So it's not, we don't get a exact 600 points here. So it's around 500, some 30, 540 GB. So that much I given to this. Only 3 partitions I created wantedly. Say MBR time. Don't worry, I will tell the solutions again. So you don't need to adjust within this 4 partition. If you want to create a more, you can create a more. Okay. So like this. What you have to do? So you completed 3 primaries. The second one, this part become extended partition. This is a extended partition. In extended partition, you can create a number of logical partitions. Like here, you can create 50. You want to create a 20. You want to create a 30. You want to create a 10. Number of logical partitions you can create it. So not exactly required to how many are there. So that is a different question. But 3 primary is completed. The 4th onwards automatically this extended. In XP you have to specify extension. In XP you have to specify, in old systems you have to specify extended. From Windows Vista onwards, Windows 7. So once 3 primary is completed, 4th one become extended. So you create another 50, like it is become extended inside logical partition, logical drives. Okay, you can create a logical part, not logical drives partitions. So that is a important. Next, each partition support up to 2 terabyte, maximum 2 terabyte. So that is about your MBR. Next, what is a ZPT? ZPT, we can create 128 primary primary partitions. No extended. So no logical drives. Only one straight 128 primary partitions. Okay. So each partition size support more than 2 terabyte and up to 18 EB as per the some standard textbooks like Red Hat textbooks. Okay, so this is another important, guys, MBR or a GPT. Actually, I want to show you directly how MBR and GPT works, but it's okay. So I am open disk management. People are left, that's disappointing. I have to create a new, guys. And no one is said in the morning also. I ask like, do you want to see how to install a Windows 10? Otherwise, if possible, I will install a Windows 10 today evening. I will show you the practicals on Windows 10. So I don't want to disturb my this Windows machine. Okay. So see, here it is, the C drive, E drive, F drive, and there is some other small drives are there. So it won't show it is a primary. It shows some basic data from partition like this. Okay. So I don't have any hard disk, right? I'm going to add a new hard disk. You will see what will happen. This is a virtual machine. When system is running, it is possible that we can able to add a new hard disk. I will try. If anything is damaged, this is SCSI disk. So we didn't discuss about a SCSI. There's another very good information is there, that is like what is SCSI and about a RAID. If you want to go through it, there is a beautiful explanation. RAID with practical substitute. Guys, can you able to see my screen? This is a virtual machine screen.
Yes,
Disk
sir.
management screen. Okay, see. So disk 1 not initialize. You can see disk 1 not initialize. New hard disk is I added, not initialize. It's a fresh disk. Nothing is there. So you can see disk 0. Right click. You can see convert into MBR disk. It means it is a GPT disk. That's it is showing convert into MBR disk, convert into dynamic, and some other options. Don't do it on your physical machine. Look at it. This is a right, but here it is some red mark, totally black, and it is not initialized. It's not MBR. It's not a GPT. I am right click, initialize the disk. On disk 1, initialize the disk. So you can disk initialize in a partition style as a MBR or a GPT. So first of all, I am doing MBR. Click OK. Now it is showing convert into GPT, means it's a MBR disk. As I said, I'm going to create a partition, simple volume. It's a 160 GB, so no volume. So I'm creating some 20 GB. 2048 means 2 GB. 20480 means 20 GB. Yes, I'm not doing much. So NTFS only. MTFS or FAT you can able to select from here. I choose NTFS only. So one partition is created. It's a primary partition is going to be created. So in generally, it is better to choose 10 GB, 5 GB, 2 GB because faster it will come. It is one primary partition is completed. Next one. This is not required. So next one again, new simple volume. This time I choose only 10 GB. Okay. So same NTFS only. Another partition, second partition. I said maximum 3. Automatically fourth one become extended. Why 10 GB? It is little faster it will create compared to 20 GB. Better take 5 GB, 4 GB, 2 GB faster. So 3 partitions completed, guys. This is MBR. So 3 partitions completed. The fourth one I am creating. That is something around 20 GB, 20480 or 10 anything you want, you can create it. But look at here, this unallocated, how it is become, color is changed. So it is 20 GB drive is created. You can see logical drive. It is showing primary partition. It is showing NTFS partition. Okay, 100 GB free space. Earlier it's a black. Now you can see the border color is a thick green color border is there for this one and as well as this one. So what is that meaning is it is a extended partition. So primary, 3 primaries completed. In a primary only you can install OS. So primary, 3 primary completed. The fourth one automatically become extended. Inside extended, it is a fourth one is a logical drive. When I creating fourth one, so extended partition, so the entire remaining 120 GB become extended. Inside extended, it's a logical drive, and still there is showing 100 GB. So I'm going to create some other things like 2010240. Yeah, you can create anything. Okay, each partition, this is 10 GB, this is 20 GB like that, right? But maximum size support is 2 terabyte. Okay, so if you have a 4 terabyte hard disk, so you can create maximum or minimum 1 terabyte hard disk is there. So one partition you can entire one disk, one partition, 1 terabyte, one partition, 2 terabyte hard disk, entire disk, one partition, 4 terabyte of hard disk, entire disk you have to create at least 2 partitions, more than 2 you can create it. So minimum 2 partitions you can create, maximum that is different. If it is an MBR, if it is GPT 4 terabyte, one single partition also you can able to create it. So just for understanding, so it's a logical drive like this. I can create a number of logical drives. Okay, so how to remove all these partitions? Also we can use a command like a disk part, or I can delete one by one. So deleting one by one volumes. So I cannot convert this into GPT without deleting entire volume. So be careful when you are doing it. So this is about MBR, guys. What is MBR? Master boot record, maximum 3 primaries we can able to create it. Okay. And once you want to create a fourth one, it creates under extended volume. So in extended we can create a logical volume. So we can convert now GPT. You can convert into GPT automatically. So I'm converting into GPT. Now this is MBR disk. It is showing convert into MBR means it is a GPT disk. Now it is a GPT. I'm going to create a new volumes. So small volumes 2040. So it's not showing it is a primary. It is showing basic data partition, that's it. But color is primary color, primary partition color, but it is showing basic data partition. So GPT, GUID, partition table. I'm creating a 10 GB disk. Why I want to create a more disk? That's why. So 3 partitions are completed. Now we'll go for a fourth one. You see, it is not created any extended partition. 4 partitions are created, but fourth one is not become a logical drive inside a extended partition. Still I'm creating 4 completed. I'm going for a 5. You can create a 2 GB, 2 GB, 2 GB also, but don't create. You are using a physical machines. It's not good for your physical machines. Okay. If you have virtual machines, you can do it. You want to know how to create this virtual environment? So already I told there is a lot of information available. Search in my channel. Search there. Or if you want, I will forward the things. Okay, see it is. I created almost 5 volumes or 5 partitions. Still, it is showing. It's not showing extended or logical drives. Like this, we can create 128 partitions in the single disk. Each partition support 18 EB. Guys, understand? MBR and GPT difference. This is about a virtual hard disk. Last time I taken a, I think I showed how to create a virtual hard disk, but I didn't give any information about virtual hard disk. That's it. Thank you guys. And how many guys are there? That is important. 4 members. Good. Yeah, that's it for today, guys. I think you understand about storage, disk partitions, yes. MBR, GPT.
Yes, sir.
Hard disk, SSD difference. That is also a frequently asked question earlier. Okay, and today I will forward some question answer type. Already I showed now, so I will forward, go through once. That's it, guys. Bye bye. Have okay. Prepare for your interviews, person test and all.